In this video help, we're going to cover deleting records. In most cases, there is never a need to delete a record, and I'll explain what I mean by that. Deleting a record is done when there is an issue where it's either corrupted or, in that case, a main record, which is the parent record, and the child records are corrupted. That can happen if during input someone either changes the ID, which these are not, you can't access it, so you cannot change it. Any place in the app where there is an ID, if it's modified, it can break the relationship between the parent record and the child records. That would be one instance. Another one is when a user uses the application initially and doesn't read the user guide, and they create records, first of all trying to do a portal record without ever creating the parent record, and then going back and creating a parent record, really screws things up. And I'll explain how they can do that. If you just came in and started adding data in here in portal records and they're not related to the parent record, that can cause some problems. I try to set up the application so that you can't do that, in that if you use the new button, it will automatically create the ID and a new record so that you cannot modify. You would only do the initial entry, and since they're related by an ID and not the drawing name or any of this information up here, it does not cause a problem. Now, be aware, in some cases, like this application, you have to have a drawing level number in order to bring it down into this area over here so that it can be seen, so you can do the next series of drawing numbers in the assembly level. But that's not the same thing as having an ID conflict. Now, if you go into a portal record and you modify it down here, it's going to have no real effect as far as the changing of the ID, because the information you're changing would be just updated. And that would be a correction maybe that you have to do. So there's no reason to delete the record just to make a correction. But say for some reason that you do not want that information within the parent record and you don't want the portal records in there, what you would do normally is just go to the portal and very simply click on the portal ID button, match up knowing that you're in number 1 up here. You would click the delete button and it would delete this record. Once you delete this record and return back into the catalog, in this case the catalog screen, that record would disappear in the portal. It's that simple. Now, I suggest when you start a new application, there are normally sample records in the application. You can simply overwrite them. That will not affect the ID. You can put your own information in here, replacing the sample data and putting in your own information. And then if you do not want to use these portal records, simply delete them the way I just showed you and then create your own. It's that simple. When you delete these, you're also going to be deleting the portal image within that record, which is the correct way to do it. Now, this is a separate portal up here with its own separate information and pictures in it. So you would have to go into that portal in the sample records to do again, to delete the image here and put in your own images and your own related screen information for the top level drawing. And also that would replace the text over here in the notes field. So this is how to do it as far as this particular application is concerned, but it is similar in all applications in how you delete a record. Same thing would be for an additional portal. This is a sub-portal on this portal, but it's related to the main drawing and ID number. So once again, if you needed to replace this one, you would come in here and delete this record from this screen. If you have any questions or need assistance, go ahead and call me or get in touch with me through the support site. Thank you.